been crazy, just wanna be okay. How can I pick up the pieces when everything breaks with every day? I'm getting older, I feel the weight upon my shoulders. I'm strong enough, I'll rise above. It's all gonna be okay. If I can be anything, I think I'm gonna be me. I know I gotta be me. Nowhere else I wanna go, no one else I'd rather be. I be me. I think I'm gonna be me. Everything's changing, just trying to navigate. Oh, I keep on believing I'm gonna find my way with every day. I'm getting older, I feel the weight upon my shoulders. I'm strong enough, I'll rise above. It's all gonna be okay. If I can be anything, I think I'm gonna be me. I know I gotta be me. Nowhere else I wanna go, no one else I'd rather be. I think I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me. I think I'm gonna be me, me, me. I know I gotta be me, me, me. There's nowhere else I wanna go, no one else I'd rather be. I think I'm gonna be me. I know I gotta be me, me, me. There's nowhere else I wanna go. I think I'm gonna be me. I think I'm gonna be me.
Greetings, third team, Keely Dunn, FHumpires. I am very happy to see you on this fine Wednesday or Thursday if you live in the future, as many of our friends do, in lands such as New Zealand, India, places that are, not so far behind the sun the way that I am. I'm glad you're here. We're going to do a fairly quick show today. I am going to confess I'm not feeling my absolute best today. It's been one of those migraine-y sort of couple days, and I can tell I don't even have my lighting turned on behind me. So watch them fixing things on the fly. There we go. That looks more normal. I was like, why does it look so dark back there? Is that just my migraine, or is that, yeah, that's my lighting. Nice to see some faces here that I haven't seen for a while, and people like the hockey family. Good to have you. Neil is here. Simon is back from holidays, so good to have you. Mike is here. We think this is a yellow card offense. You're taking the mech. You're taking the mech. Tom, great. I mean, there is going to be a poll, Taff, but I mean, I assume it's Taff behind the keyboard. It could be anybody, actually. Could be any one of the three of you. Do you give the keys over to the others? I don't know. You'll be able to tell me. Oh, and since one of the others is on his own account, it clearly isn't him. Hi, Simon. Good to have you. Dropping in before coaching at my favorite English club. I have many favorite English clubs, but absolutely Cambridge is Cambridge City. Or don't you have 4 Cambridge clubs? 5, maybe? I might not know which one you're talking about. AJ's popping in. Nice to have you. Oh my God, Timothy Clay. Good to have Where have you been? I know that all my sound effects are broken, so I'm not even going to press DJ or horns today. I think my song should work, though. My soothing song of background music that I think only I can hear. I'm glad you're here, though. Ooh, 2 umpires at the same time doing MCP? What is this paradise, and how can I get a ticket? I would like a one-way ticket to that paradise. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, Benno. Very, very nice. And yeah, see, now we're getting Hopefully this isn't rivalries. Everybody's just happy to be greeting everybody. The Merigliana family is here. Thank you for coming by. And Gideon, boy, like, did everybody just decide it was November 8th? And they're like, haven't seen Keely for a while. I bet she has a migraine. We should go see how she's doing. And then pop in and yeah. Yes, it's me. I gave you the option of 3 people and you say, yes, it's me. Oh, tough. Richard, hi. Luke and Samantha, and you have too many. Yeah, I think you need to branch out into some different descriptions. That'll probably be kind of helpful. Okay, this is what we're going to cover today. Interesting topics. Let's just go with that, and that's why I had to come on today. We're going to do a 5x5, a red card in a gold medal, and a 3D neither shot if we get to it. Look, I'm here to underpromise and overdeliver today. I'm just that's it. We're just 3 topics, maybe. I don't know. We might just do 2. Like, let's find out. Because the last one's more of a conjecture sort of question thing, not really a analyze this play thing. But there you go. Okay, let's get this show on the road then. The 5x5. Let's do this. It doesn't add up to 25 though. There is no sound, because if I play the sound that is on the background of this, there is music that is going to be copywritten, is going to invoke a copyright claim, and this video will be chunked out. I mean, I wonder if I could play it once and then I could mute the sound in replay when the copyright comes down. Because it is very dramatic. No, go watch it on Instagram. I can't be aft with it today. Just don't make me. Watch it on Instagram. You can hear it's a very, full expression of many yells. Oh, and see, here we go. Tricky's here too. Everybody is like, hi, haven't been for a while. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. So, in the proud tradition of icons, thank you again for your service, for posting a clip with no context and absolutely no guidance whatsoever. But that's why people come here, so that we can talk about this scenario. It's a good one. It's a good one. And what we have are 2 separate potential 5-meter infringement things. And if I've got this right, when I watched the highlight package, this play was not on it, but I do believe we're at least in the 3rd or 4th quarter because of the way the direction the teams are going and which umpire is on this attacking end of the circle. And the game, I think it was 2-1 for a while, but then Kampong pulled away from Hajise in this particular thing. Hajise being in blue and Kampong being in white. And yes, I did try to say it Dutch. Don't at me. I'm out here trying to be a global citizen here. So we can break this down. We can actually break it down into 3 stages. So let's focus on the first stage first. And this is one of our chronic scenarios that is quite challenging for us to track into, which is when there's a crowd of players and multiple defenders around a 5-meter free hit. And how can we make an accurate decision as to whom may be infringing on 5 meters here? Now, like I said, I did go to try to find the highlight package to see if I could find a bigger view of this, because every time we look at these plays very close up and on a vertical video, it has a weird way of changing our perspective such that it makes it difficult to see, well, everything that you would see. Even as being an umpire who is that close to the action, you would still be able to track what's going on in your peripheral here. And you would have a vision that's like an angle that's, you can't see me spreading my arms out. Why am I doing this? big angle as opposed to this vertical, which we're seeing right here, was just this. Oh my God, my arms, I can't do it. Okay, so we miss a lot of data in this. So part of what we're going to do is make some assumptions, but what I'd like you to do is just focus on this first part of the play here. Now, let's see if this is going to work the way that I want it to. Huh. I can't believe anything's going to work for me today, but guess what? We've got some love here happening. So the first part is this 5 meter. I'm going to slow it down as fast as much as I can. The tech might work, but my brain isn't working. That's what's going on here in this, out here in these streets. Oh, trying to get this stand tilted up. I tell you, I'm a mess. So we know that this defender has been caught within 5. I mean, even from this kind of short angle, we know that this defender can't interfere with the play. They can't channel. They can't cut down attractive spaces. And I don't think there's much question here, and you can let me know in the comments if you disagree, but I think this defender does what he needs to do by lifting his stick up enough, and he's moving out of the attractive directly to along the end line towards the circle kind of space. Okay, so he's okay. And then we have a defender from here who may or may not be okay. And this is a challenge because that ball's just fine where it is on the free hit. Because in the span of when this ball is taken here, what's tricky is look at the umpire's view. He is, because he's so close to the play, his head is turned and he's focused right on the ball. That is a really tough place to be able to take in all the information he needs to take in, because he can't see the defender from here. But at the point of the tackle, he's clearly approached. And at the point of the tackle, once this sort of shapes up, it looks like we've got 5 meter dash about to there. So he may be a meter in front of the 5 meter dash. And we know that the 5 meter dash is further than 5 meters away from the sideline. This is an extraordinarily skewed angle to see this play from. Because if you're going to tell me, when we look at it this way, when we saw this developing, I mean, my eyes want to tell me that there's no way that's 5 meters. And about 90 people in the comments in the Instagram reel also didn't believe that this was 5 meters. But I think it is. And I think there's a little bit of hesitation on the defender's part. He's not rushing in full force, but he has moved from the place from where he set up. So I'm willing to suspend, despite the fact that we don't have a great angle, and I don't think the umpire was clocking it at all because of where he was pointed. He didn't know where that second defender had come from. And the difficulty with this play is that we see the crowd, we see the dude that's created the foul or put the ball out of play. We see him close. The space looks small, so we instinctively react with not enough room. And that's what the players are reacting to as well. They go, oh my God, I don't have enough room. Okay. Any questions about that so far? How there's already a red card vote and a red card vote. Look, I like the fact that people do their homework and they start answering the questions early, because what if they have to go? What if recess gets called? What if they have to go for lunch? What if they need a nap? They need to get their vote in, and I appreciate that. Yeah, hugely flattened angle. And let's see. Luke's the one who voted, obviously. There you go. You're getting better and better. Did I say it kind of almost not wrong? Okay. That makes me happy today. Thank you. I needed that. All right. So is everybody fairly happy. And I know probably some of you have already voted on the poll, and that's exactly what I want you to do, is to make a quick decision and then look back. Did you know you can change your poll votes? Don't change your poll votes. It doesn't matter. Okay? I'm curious. I'm interested in what your initial reactions and feelings are about this, because then we can get to the process of learning and dismantling what might have happened. Okay. So that's where we're at. And then we have the second stage of the play, of this patch scissor play, which is the attempted raise over the stick and into the player here, the now defender. I didn't put this in the poll results, in the poll votes, and I should have. I purposely didn't watch this on slow-mo until now. But I didn't like it when I saw it. But I was like, well. So tell me what you think about this next passage. Because what I see when I describe it in language to go along with the pictures that we have is that we have a defender who's going very low. Okay, so he's in full crouch position. And from full crouch position, he even is able to put one knee almost on the ground. And the ball is played. We can't really see where it hits him. But here's a ball right there. Here's a ball right there. Don't English. Don't try to English today. And by the time he stands up, I mean, it looks like it could have been about knee height. But that's after he stood up. He was lower than that. His knee had lowered his leg further to the ground at that point. Okay, so teasing out the factors that we would look at. How low does the defender make themselves? Are they attempting to play the ball with their stick? Are they creating a long barrier? Now, as it turns out, this player just tried to kind of go over and not really around, so the length of the barrier doesn't really come into play here. That's fine. But it's something to keep an eye out on, an eye out for in other situations. If this had been a right drag, which I don't know why he didn't, he's got a really nice pass there. Like, I'm not, okay. Sorry. So let me, I'm going to pause this here. I will go back to this scene so that you can keep looking at, and I'm going to look at your comments. So Rachel, you were always happy with the first one. Okay, thank you. If you can find the time of the day could work out the player of the shadow and the exact point at which this occurred in the match. Godders, I love your thinking, because this is the kind of detective work I sometimes do when I'm looking at these things. I'm like, how sweaty are the players? Oh yeah, they're definitely into the second quarter now. And for Taff, you agree. It looks like the defender comes within the 5-meter area, but after the ball has been moved. Okay, thank you for that. Anthony, look, I love the way you come into strong with what you say, but if you do that, you better use the right words and correct hockey terminology, because 5 yards does not exist. It's 2023, get with the times. 5 meters. Right now, from this day forward, the word yard never comes out of your mouth. Okay? The ball moves 5 meters. The defender, once the ball was touched and approached and closed down space. So for you, there's no foul here. Okay, great. Yeah. Goddard likes the first 5 meters as well. Ooh, says Murph. Is that lifted without the player going to the knee? I don't quite, oops. I don't quite parse the English. And I don't know if you're seeing these problems happening on your end. I might just have too many apps open. So let's quit some things. Let's quit some things and see if I can clear up all of this pausation. Freezerific action going on here. It's a long berry assignment, yep. But like I said, the ball gets played right at the player. It's not that it went around, so we don't care about the length. Like that's it, the longness of the length of the barrier does not come into play, right? Murph, shin pad height. If the player hasn't popped himself into that position of danger, question mark. Exactly the question I have as well. It did hit his knee. He had a long barrier, but the trailing leg wasn't the one that was hit. Exactly. What even is knee height? Everyone has knees at different heights. Yep. But the reason that we can focus on that, Trix, as a method of gauging danger is because you have protection under the knee. So knee height and above will be considered dangerous because it'll hurt the person who actually gets hit by the ball. Basically. I don't think that means it's open season for anybody who wears knee pads, but it's an interesting question if a field player is wearing knee pads in regular play, which is something that I've thought about doing with my artificial knees, thinking that might make me probably just for psychological reasons feel more comfortable. It would probably have absolutely no effect on pain levels or anything like that because everything hurts. Hi, Roland. I don't think we've met before, so congratulations. Welcome to What Up Wednesday and perhaps your first comment. Depends on danger. Okay. I don't see danger, so you wouldn't blow it. So what is danger? It's not good enough to say that you don't see it as dangerous, but why? So what we would look for are the height of the ball, the speed of the ball, the distance away from the defender the ball is played from. Do they have eyes on the ball? Is there a crowd around them? What's the trajectory of the ball? Is it coming from up or coming from down? Are there other sticks in the way? There are a ton of factors that we include into danger calculations, and we need to express those. We can't just say, I don't think it's dangerous. That is literally begging the question, which is something that I've been talking about a lot in the last few weeks on What Up Wednesday. But welcome. This is how we do. This is how we do it. Yeah, if the player had taller, longer legs, it would be okay. Yeah. I mean, you got to draw a line in the sand somewhere. The right lower leg still looks pretty straight and like the ball hits him above the knee area onto his chest. It's hard. No, you're not. You're old school if you say you're old school. I'm not accepting this, Anthony. Okay, if we're going to be best friends, you have to buy into this with me. You have to come with me on this. I am 51 freaking years old and I have changed my vocabulary. I changed it 2 decades ago when the rules changed. Because I want to. Because I am the boss of me. And I can change my mind. You can change your mind too. Don't give me this shit. I'm not having it. Hi. Okay, James Wallace. Wallace, happy with the initial defender being 5. The 2 phase, you'd say this is lifted into the player at knee-ish height, so a free hit attack. Okay. Thanks for not jumping into the next part of it. Benna, what is a long barrier? That's a great question. Okay. Don't get sassy. That's my job. It's my job, Mr. Milford. So I didn't know this, Benno, but there's actually, this is a technical cricket term. I don't cricket. This girl does not sports ball in the crickets. I don't do that. But apparently it's a description of a way that fielders catch the ball and they make their body as long as possible along the ground so that the ball doesn't go past them. That is a lot of guesswork on my part. What that means in hockey terms is if a defender puts their body down on the ground in a long way such that they're taking up a wide amount of space, knowing full well that they are being reckless as to whether they may be hit with the ball, they may be playing the ball with their body. but they'd rather take up that space and stop the ball from going through. That is breakdown play. That is intentional use of the body and should be penalized appropriately. So could be an upgrade call if it's within the 23 of the circle, should absolutely be a personal penalty anywhere else. Sorry. So that's how that is relevant here. It's not really a defined term in hockey, but apparently it's a defined term in the other sports balls. Do we take into account, Daniel, how quickly number 18, White, played the ball into 18 on the occasion? Are you skipping to the third phase? I mean, if you mean by quickly played, you mean the speed of the ball, then yes, we would. And that would go into the whole danger category. Absolutely. Always be wary of goalkeepers umpiring, Murph, because the threshold for danger is higher. I know, you're looking at this going, what? I get it. That's why y'all wear those big pads and you're in the circle and you're, deliberately using your body to play the ball, which to me just seems, I don't know. I'd rather get out of the way. Luke, 5 meters is 5.5 yards. So the distance we expect players to give is longer than we used to expect previously. The more we ask meters, the more we remind people we want more, the more that we are correct. That's all I want. Just be correct. Neil, blue runs straight into white, giving no chance to retreat 5. We're not onto that yet. We're not doing that yet. Everybody's piling on. Look, I totally hammered him. I think he's good. I think Anthony's like, I'm not sure about that Keeley lady, and let's let him lick his wounds and come back and say, cool, I'm with you now. You just slow motion the screenshot and the ball looks very much like it was above the knee. Okay, we can go back to my slowness because I wasn't convinced. I'm not unconvinced, but I'm not convinced because what I see here is, as a couple of people mentioned parts about his chest and his upper thighs and such like that. So this player has gone very low and this leg is not straight upright. That is part of what a crouch means, is that there is an angle to that. We are flat to it, but you have to imagine if that player is crouching and has brought his left leg up. God, we're getting into real minutiae here. Okay. But yes, that very well may have hit him just at the knee, but was the knee at normal, natural knee height? I don't know. To be fair, you get out of the way regularly. Yeah. Oh, what a glorious word, Rachel. Prevaricating. Love it. Thank you for that affirmation, because I was guessing. I was totally guessing. Okay, and you understand. Thank you. Would you ever allow a ball above the knee as not dangerous if it was played softly? See, that's the thing. And my answer is yes. Because the knee height guidance is intended to be used simply on drag flicks on penalty corners. The rule is there only for that purpose. So we should not create this expectation everywhere else in the field that a ball that is above the knee is automatically dangerous and a ball that is below the knee is automatically not dangerous. Because a ball can be just below the knee, but because of how it's played at someone and the crowd that they're in and the fact that they can't see it and all kinds of stuff, that could well be dangerous at certain levels of play. And we have to be smart enough to keep going through our checklist of all the things that could make something dangerous, add them all up, and come to our conclusion. Not that players always know, but the fact that no one appealed, they were unhappy with white being both for danger, is another indicator. It is an indicator for sure. And there's the Friday video for the long barrier. Thank you very much. Okay, and you agree it's not there. You're sure there wouldn't be a concern with you going offside? I don't know. Prove it. Prove it and start talking to meters. Yeah, exactly. And thank you for that, Murph. So now that we've looked at it carefully and all that kind of thing, at the end of the day, even though I'm not super confident about it, when I'm not super confident, I go with the umpire's decision on the field. And they clearly called a free hit attack for danger. Okay. So right now, we're where we need to be. And we are now in the third phase of play and what Neil Skates started to get into here. Okay. We have this. Nice and slow. Please start your engines on this last phase. For me, this is the only hard call. Thank you, says Simon. Thank you. Yep. It helps with selling other decisions around dangerously raised balls. Don't use the term high balls. That's another problem. Because again, players start saying, well, that's high. Umpire, that's a high ball. Like, look how high it is. And you're like, yeah, I don't care. High balls are not a foul unless it's the first shot that is a hit on a penalty corner. Otherwise, that's the only time you use the high ball signal. Otherwise, or the raised ball signal. Otherwise, you must refer to it as a dangerous ball. Or if you want to get like all verbose about it, dangerously raised. Yep. Jason, the blue tackler is stationary and it looks like the white player jinxed too high. Okay, so you're back on that one. That's fine. And you think it's above the standard. Yeah. If you missed a play on, but okay. Ah, but Anthony, you know what? Okay, here's a little secret. Lean in. When coaches use the correct terms with umpires when they're talking about rules, do you know how effective that is at getting that umpire to like you? Oh my God. Because we're like, wow, that coach really knows their stuff. They are modern. They understand what we're trying to do out there. They know the rules. I'm going to engage with this coach and I'm going to give them more than the time of day. Alexander, do we know when the whistle was blown for this? Yeah, it affects judging how much time the defender had to move out of the way. I mean, I do. And I guess if we go to the let's see if I can put the Instagram. I mean, I don't love driving content to icons, but they did supply me graciously with this clip. So maybe I should stop being a jerk. Okay. Let's see if I can find the link for you all. I can't play the sound because of the music they have going on underneath. That's the problem, as I explained before. Okay, try that. And if that navigates you away from this page, don't go. I just ruined my retention like crazy. I'm just like, okay, bye everybody. See ya. All of a sudden I'm going to look at my views and it's going to go from like whatever it is to 0. You can tell by the reactions of the players that it was confirmed. The whistle came as the ball was in the player's body. And because the blue player moves off so quickly, that is a good indicator of when they knew. Goddard, if the defender has a put... You know what? I have such a crush on you. You're so smart. Sometimes Goddard's is just like linked to me telepathically, and I get a little concerned. He says, if the defender has time to put a stick to the ball which he does, he has time to move his foot out of the way. Daniel, for you, 10 blue has not made sufficient attempt to go around 11 white. Okay. You're miles ahead of most coaches. Murph, you're absolutely right about Anthony. We are very happy you're here. Trust me. And when I give you the grief, it's because I do it out of love. There's a lot of love in my grief giving. It's all psychology. Wait, why are you giving her a secret? Yeah, I know. I just told him way too much, didn't I? You would never go. You need to know the answer. Okay. Bye. Funny cat videos. See you, Murph. It was nice knowing you. You do wonder if the defender had made a similar events before in the game. Okay. And that's one of the struggles that we have in this moment, in that we don't know where we are in this game and what has previously happened. However, I've spoken several times before, and it's going to be my next tramp stamp tattoo, the RDI mantra that determines when we add personal penalties to upgrade penalties of penalty corners and penalty strokes. People kept asking me, Keely, I don't know when I combine these two things, and I came up with RDI. And it helps on other things around the pitch as well, to a certain extent. However, on this sort of thing, the team penalty that should be applied for an intentional breakdown of play should not depend on whether this has been repeated or not, especially not by this player. That would have a bearing on whether we would accompany the foul for the intentional breakdown of play with a card. I hope that makes sense. Tricky. You think you have a delay in the video. The whistle is blown exactly when 11 touches it on your playback. Okay. You see insufficient time as he plays with the stick. I guess the question that I have for everyone is, and I know it gets, when it's on slow-mo, it changes our perceptions. But I saw people on Instagram saying things like, well, Peters didn't even look up to see. He didn't know which way the ball had gone. Okay. Let's look at this very, very slowly. Okay. So Peters is reaching and looks up. And here is the key moment. It's that movement of his left foot. He doesn't simply stay where he is. He moves his foot subtly into the way. It's not so much that he moves his body and blocks the player. It's that he moves his left foot. And that's what Goddard spotted. And that's why we're best friends. Jason, White runs up and puts a stick to the ball, but doesn't try to do anything, except he does add a little extra push after the whistle. Then the foot happens. It looks like little intentional with minimal impact. Now, okay. You can argue that it's, that you don't see the intent, but don't try. I don't think you have a leg to stand on when it comes to minimal impact. Because getting around this player quickly is everything in this moment to getting into the circle. If you watch this level of play on a regular basis, you know how fast they go. And you know that their biggest opportunities come when there's that very, very slight change in structure. Somebody's just a little bit caught out and suddenly there's an opening. And bang, they go through. That is what impact is at this level of play. And that is absolutely a high impact. Now, if it wasn't intentional, if it wasn't reckless as to the result of committing the foul, then the impact is immaterial, but the impact is absolutely high. The push doesn't matter. I love these little testimonials. I gotta keep screenshotting them. Artie, I changed my umpiring. You're way more consistent for giving appropriate cards and penalties. I love that. and you think you need to brush up, yeah, you can. You know what you can do in the Discord server? You can search RDI. You can just go up to the search bar at the top. You can press Command F if you're on an appropriate computer, and if you're on an inappropriate computer, perhaps Control F. I don't know. You do you. And that will open up the search bar. It will search within the channel by default, but if you clear the channel in search operator, you can then search the entire server and just search RDI and see all the times that we've said it. Excellent. Offside, 3 penalty strokes, and a penalty goal. Thanks, Fraser. Repetition, danger, impact. Yep. Wallace. Very businesslike. Third phase. The defender makes an attempt to play the ball without knowing the umpiring decision. Defender puts himself in a position to play the ball and moved his body and foot in front of the ball. Without knowing the repetition, judging the impact, you're awarding the PC, no card, just the management. Yeah. And yeah, we have no idea whether anything else would have been appropriate in this situation. Which foul takes place first, the defender foot or the attacker moving directly into the defender of the foot? I know. I don't want to make things like, I don't know, artificially technical. It's a bit of that North American feeling, isn't it? Like, I don't want to be that person, but I also want to give you effective frameworks that help you make good decisions. And I think there's something to be said for distilling all of the knowledge that we've gained over the years, all the experience we have. You know, I look in the comments and I know how long people in here have been umpiring and how hard they work at it. And I know what I've done. And if we can distill it down to a framework that speeds up the way that you can apply that you can apply to your decision making in the future so that it doesn't take you 20 years like it took me to understand the game. It took me more than 20 years to understand the game. It took me a very long time. You don't agree with the call. To your point, we're looking in slow motion and you don't think Peter's intended to break down the play. You can, okay, so per first part, that's fair. When looking in slow motion, you can say it looks much more reckless as to the result. But you need to back up the I don't think Peter's intended to break down the play with more of a thing. That, you know, he moved his left, the movement of his left foot wasn't into the lane of the ball. It was simply to get better balance and get set. But if he's getting set at that distance, he's not doing his job, and he does have to get out of the way. He can't just, you know, block that great space and be like, well, you got to go around me. He can't disappear, but he also can't just plant and block the most beautiful space from that distance if he knows better. See you, Richard. Good to have you. Go MCB, go RDI. Just wait till I come up with a few others. Oh, Mike McDowell, if you're still here, we need that table. We need an acronym thing for the aerial table. Okay. I get excited about the wrong things in life. Hi, Yoop. You're studying. Okay. Yes, it is very... You still don't understand the game. Yes. Oh. I know. I'm not... That's what you mean. Oh, okay. I get you. Oh, so you're going to make photos abusing. Great. Great. Thanks, Simon. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So I think by now you get what my feeling is that although it is subtle, that movement of the defender's left foot into the lane of the ball was absolutely an attempt to break down the play. It was very effective. It was high impact, and a penalty corner is absolutely the correct decision here. And many of you may disagree. Okay. Oh, that's okay, Jason. I'm often not clear. It's because I get to talk through my things that I can get clearer. You meant the initial action, the tiny push shows intent. White knew it was a free hit attack, but acted anyway. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what the poll says. I am a little nervous about this. Okay, nobody's doing, okay, one person's doing a retake for the second 5-meter infringement. And wow, 14 of you, 93% are going for the penalty corner for the second 5-meter infringement. I did not see that coming. I did not see that. It's probably because the people that aren't sold on the logic that Godders and I are using didn't vote in the server. You got to go vote in the server. There you go. Yeah. For Godders, the movement of the left foot was sideways towards the space the attacker was likely to play the ball. Yeah. And PC for you in fast or slow motion. Yeah. I saw it on fast motion too, but it was when I could break it down, because I also started to doubt, well, yeah, he can't disappear. And, you know, what is he doing with his body? So you really have to hone in, not watching the attacker, but watch the subtle things that the defender is doing with his body. And when we're on the pitch, that's sort of the lesson to take out of this, friends, is that when we're on the pitch, just as we do with when we're anticipating contact and two players coming together for a potential tackle, and am I going to have to call obstruction on the defender? Is there a potential obstruction by the attacker using their stick as a shield or their body as a shield? Whatever language you want to use for that, stick block, body block. The key is that you have to shift your focus away from the ball and to the defender. And that holds true in these situations as well. When you shift to the defender, you're going to pick up on their little cues. And as human beings, we're really good. We've been trained all our lives to pick up on these little cues of, you know, when players actually, you know, move their eyes over into a different direction, or they shift their balance, or things like that. We pick up on these things. And I talk about them in detail because I want you to see them as well and add that skill to your repertoire as well. You're crazy. Incredible. We got to do one of these. Incredible wavy arm aerial sheet. Yep. Okay. There we go. Okay. And how do you add 3 pedals as an option? I'm not teaching you how to do that. If you do it on your own, power to you. Dog speed, as it were. Okay, let's get into some announcements. I have some happy news to share, which is one of my favorite things about being able to do these shows. First of all, I'd like to congratulate this fine individual, Mr. Allendow. Oh, I think that sound effect worked. Excellent. There's a lot of confetti there for making your level 3. Congratulations, and thank you for being a part of our community, especially in the server. And congratulations also. Look, this is just a rumor, okay? I don't have the facts, and this person didn't come to me with this news. So I'm here to start rumors. I'm spilling tea. I do believe that Mike McCartney has just been promoted to the MPWB panel. And I'm not mad. As you can see by the designation in the top corner there, Mike is a long-standing member of our yellow team. And I am very happy for him. He does work very hard. We had a really good debrief of his match recently, and I was able to use my video pencil tools, the stuff that I'm using here, to mark up the clips, and I draw vague circles and stuff like that. I'm learning how to use this in a remote coaching capacity so that when yellow members bring their videos to the group and we pile into the Discord voice channel, I'm able to actually show umpires what I'm seeing. Like, this is the lane you should be standing in, and just backpedal over to here, and oh, notice this player over here, and look at, you know, what angle their stick's at, and things like that, which I think is really adding to the value that I can provide with the coaching. So I'm really excited. You were coaching Nick Eva today. Oh, that is so good. Rumor starter. That's me. And I would also like to throw out for Mr. Phil Clifton, who is a member of the community, and he let me know that he has done some ligament damage in his foot, I believe, if I remember properly, and he's going to be out for quite some time again. So Phil, heal up fast. I hope you get back on the pitch soon and complete and ready to go and implementing all of the umpiring stuff that you do. So yeah, we'll come back for Black Friday news later. Oh, did I just imagine if this is how Mike finds out? Oh my gosh. I was really thinking, like, should I include this in the show? And I'm like, fuck it. Of course I should. Nobody's the boss of me. Okay, next one. The red card and the gold medal.
Brilliant defensive work, and here comes the break now. Dominator
Perth Luxury asked, what game was this? Is there a clip on the FH YouTube? And Perth Luxury, no, you will not find this on the FH YouTube because this is a Pan Am Games gold medal event or match. And the Pan Am Games are not rights held by the FIH. So they have, even though it's an FIH competition, they don't have the rights to the footage. The International Olympic Committee does, which might mean that I'm going to get in trouble for this. Hi. So
rolls the ball into an empty net.
Hopefully it's just going to be this one segment.
I'm not sure why Amoroso is getting involved. He's let himself down there.
Whoops. Okay. I lost my place in the footage. So you've seen that it's sort of afters.
Matsili doesn't need it.
And you can see that the umpires are actively engaging in a discussion. What I really like about what they do is their body language is very positive and clear. They know they're not on audio on the broadcast. So the fact that they are demonstrating what they're talking about, I think is a really nice touch and helps clarify to everybody, we know what Tyler saw. And we know that Olango agrees with him. Yes, I saw that too. Head? Yes, you know, like it's very clear on their language.
Tyler Klenk is going to have to just try and sort this out on the far side.
And that's good news. That it's been confirmed. Okay. So I'll replay this a little bit, and I guess I'm happy to, you know, have a conversation if this wasn't really one where I thought there would be a huge amount of debate. Because it's not particularly dangerous. It's not that Amoroso, you know, picks up his stick and, you know, splits open the head of somebody else. And it reminds me a lot of the red card that Panesar was the incident in which Panesar was awarded a red card in the Commonwealth Games last year and his confrontation with Chris Griffiths of England. Panesar, a Canadian player, grabbed Griffiths by the shirt here and then sort of lifted up and pushed him back. So his hand was right at Griffiths' throat. And it doesn't have to be a punch. It doesn't have to be a swing of the stick. It doesn't have to be throwing an object that hits somebody. It's the offer of violence that is what crosses the line for us in our sport for a red card. And I was sort of, it was interesting for me to be watching this tournament, and despite their incredible efforts by the Pan Am media team who did, I'm sorry, but their work on this tournament was fucking incredible. Like, the clips were so cool. I was watching them and getting excited, and I watch clips of hockey all the time. And they were just so well put together. And from a social media perspective, they did an amazing job. And the only reason that nobody knew that this had happened is because European fans don't follow hockey outside of Europe. And that's like most of all of you. Okay. Is the red for the diving tackle tip? No. It's for something off the ball. Is that red card in the back pocket? I don't even know. Yes, it's the celebration. Oh yeah, no problem. And that's another thing, is that the players are celebrating, and they, like, this is not hockey. Hockey is not happening here. This is outside of hockey. There is no attempt at the ball or no, you know, anything like that. It's there. Anthony, oh yeah, I think you're coming on some inside information here. You can also say that Chile tried to sum off to hide the fact that he committed. Oh yeah, everybody does that, hoping he would get lost and the umpires would miss it. Well done to the umpires. Yeah, you're not, that trick doesn't work. It really doesn't work. There was no question. But yeah, coaches do that all the time. Is take the player off and hope that the umpires struggle to sort out the information, lose the number, lose the captain. It's one thing, we've had discussions in the server recently about what to do when you see the offense, but you don't get the number and your colleague, maybe they disagree. They don't agree it's a card and they don't bother to keep track of it for you. And you're playing an advantage and it comes into your circle and then you give a different decision and you want to go back for that incident, but you didn't have eyes on it because the players were facing the other way. And then your colleague doesn't have any information to help you. What do you do? And it's not a great solution, but it's kind of the only solution we have, is going back to the captain and asking them, which player was it? And if you don't tell me who it is, you're going. And we actually saw that in a debrief we did with you earlier this week on Monday. He had to just card the captain with the yellow. It's like, well, sorry, if you're not going to tell me who it was, off you go. Taff is saying definitely red. The more obvious red card than the one you got. I don't want, no. Did you take a red card? Oh my God, this is hilarious. Just spotted red for you. Sorry for shouting. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, you heard me. Oh, God, I don't ever expect you to be here, especially after you've just gone through the tournament that you have. But I guess I kind of didn't fill out that story because it was kind of also, you know, we're trying to grow this federation and the hockey in this region. And, you know, 2 red cards by PAF teams in international competition the last year is not a great look. Like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. But there you go. Yeah. And his teammates try to get him away. Absolutely. And oh yeah, Luke and I were in a watch party, and I don't know if anybody else, I think there were a couple other people in there at the time, and I was just flabbergasted and really just, please umpires do the right thing. And they absolutely did. Question for you. Why was it the supporting umpire that gave the card when we played in the celebration? You see the main umpires. I don't think it really matters. I think just part of it is that Tyler is the umpire who's on that side of the pitch. It really doesn't matter which one who gives it. Nobody's controlling that play. Like, they are both equally responsible for something like that. It's not like a card that is given for a foul that happens inside of one umpire's circle. It's a totally different feel. So that sort of thing. Well, he came up behind them and headbutted them and pushed them to the ground. Somebody could have gotten injured. Absolutely. So that's what happened. There you go. And you agree with my point so far. Mike, you're getting it all right today. You get promoted and you agree with me. Look at that. Fantastic. You said some hurty words to another player after he hit you in the chest pad. Home team umpires didn't see the hit, but heard the words. Some hurty words. And a red card all day. Okay. Yeah. And I hope that feels right. And again, it's one of those things that you think, well, nobody got hurt, and maybe severe words weren't spoken. We don't know. We don't know what kind of slurs could have been said at the time, to be totally honest. But let's assume nothing was. And you might say, well, that doesn't really feel like a red card. But it's outside of hockey. It is the offer of violence. And the retaliation, this is the thing. Because the red card is given, everybody on the pitch knows that the umpires have this under control. And especially the Argentinian players are like, well, we know that we are being protected and we are safe and we can continue to play good hockey. And we don't have to go out there and try to get our measure back. Because that's what you don't want. You want to reestablish the safety and the control. You can't stop them from doing stupid things sometimes, but you can certainly let the players know that any stupidity will be penalized appropriately. And when somebody should not participate in the remainder of that game, they will be sent off for the remainder of that game. It's as simple as that. Okay? It's the third team. I don't know. It was Chile's first time in the medal match at the Pan Am Games. It was a history-making moment, which is kind of all the more reason why you don't do something like that. And on home turf. But it's emotions, and it's one team understands how to corral emotions in big games like that, and one team does not because they don't have the experience. And you're happy it remained in your thing. Argentina was so busy they didn't even notice it was a Chilean player that pushed them over. Yeah, you can see from number 26 that they all saw it. Yeah, so the guys in there, they're kind of like, oh, it's a pylon, it's fine. But it's the other Argentinians who come up and they're like, they want to make sure this gets dealt with. They want to feel safe. You're a 3-1 ratio for given to received. I've never had a red card. Oh, and you never shy away from awarding an appropriate penalty when there's minutes or seconds on the clock. Or, oh, and never do, as a general thing. I wasn't going to tease you, Mike. I honestly wasn't. I was not going to. And see where we're at. Okay. 100% red card. Excellent. Good to know. All right. I want to let you know, before we move into our third topic, it's the most wonderful time of year. It's Black Friday and Cyber Monday season. Wait. So my mastermind creator friends the other night said, Keely, what are you going to do for Black Friday for your community? And I was like, I don't put things on sale. And they said, maybe you should, as a way of saying, like, hey, thanks. And also, what if it works? And what if it's great for everybody? And I was like, okay, so for the first time ever, I'm going to do a Black Friday sale. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. And you might notice there's a motif happening here. There's a lot of threes. It's 30% off. And the code has threes in it because it's for the third team. 3T, Black Friday, 30. Yeah, I'm really good at branding, friends. I'm so good. So I'm going to run 30% off green, and that will be 1 year of a membership. If you just bought one, just come talk to me. 30% off selected merch. Now, if you think it's going to be 30% off a duffel, no. Or whistles or cards, no. Those are just, not on the table for that because I price them so low that I pay money to get them into your hands. Just saying. And you need to get on the Discord, sir. Yes, sir, you do. Okay, can everybody in the comments just help Taff out here? I can't believe you're not on our server. God. Freezer's like all over our server. He's in there like a dirty shirt. And I love it because he's hilarious. So this code will only work. First of all, I haven't set it up. But second of all, it'll be programmed to work between November 24th, which is the actual Black Friday, and the end of Cyber Monday, which is the 27th. Okay? I don't know. What do you think? Is it a good idea? Let's find out. Let's find out. If I can get a whole bunch more people into this community or get some things into their hands like water bottles or t-shirts or kit bags and stuff like that, then it's probably a good thing. 3 penalties. When you say penalties, you just make me want to get mad at football. Okay, last topic. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this. Thank you. This is just sort of a question. This was also from the same game, so I'm really going to get taken down now.
That's
And
that's silly. Trying an audacious
I
lob
really,
of Enriquez.
as soon as I saw this, I thought, huh, this is something that our rules don't really have anything about. And you oh my god. I mean, of all the reactions, that's probably the best reaction I can hope for. Thank you. I need a sip of water now. What intrigued me about this play is that the shot is not at goal. It's not close enough to be at goal to be a shot at goal. It's also not a hit because there is no backswing or anything like that at all. This is very much not a hit, but it's also not a push because the ball is not moved along the ground. The ball is moved. It is literally on the stick and then gets further elevated from the stick. And it's another example of how our rules have not kept up to the modern skills and the way that we play the game. Now, was it material in this case for the way that the rule was applied? I mean, Tyler was simply able to play on here and, you know, it wasn't dangerous to anybody. No harm, no foul kind of mentality. Totally fine. But if the ball had been hit out of the air, and then if it's not a shot at goal, we've had this discussion on the streams before about balls that are already in the air and then get hit out of the air and get raised even further into the air, and whether that should be permitted or not. So that's another area of things to think about. But this is not a push. This is not a scoop. This is not a hit. This is nothing that is defined in our rules and might be a problem in the future. Because undoubtedly next week, 14 things will happen in this kind of scenario. And then Instagram will be full of clips and everybody will be like, Keely, what's the right call? And I'll be like, nah, I don't know. Is it a scoop? No, because the scoop has to be... Let's open the rules. I'm pulling out my pen, but my pen's not going to work. A scoop has to be raised off the ground. So it's not a scoop either. And there's the push. Moving the ball along the ground. So scoop has to be amended. A push could be amended. Drag has to be added. Hit has to be changed so it isn't a circular reference to what hit is. You can't define a hit by using the word hit repeatedly. But there we go. Can we give it a term like a, are you trying to make the blood vessels in my brain pop, or what are you doing here? Yeah, and that's the common sense approach. We would just simply judge it on danger, and that's exactly what happened here, and it was exactly correct, and all that sort of thing. But it just got me to thinking that there will undoubtedly be some fact scenarios that occur in our game where we have to determine whether players, you know, do we have a catch-all category for raising the ball? And all of that is fine. It lands into space. Yeah, totally fine. So there you go. Oh boy. Observe the majesty of a wafted lift. That is kind of creepy somehow. Kind of creepy. Oh dear, rules committee. Yes. I think we'll get that those 2 forum channels started, it'll be in a special category of their own, and there will be one forum channel for indoor, one forum channel for outdoor, and I'm not bothering with any other formats. Can't make me. And we will figure out how we can have a organized, productive way of contributing those sections. I mean, it's definitely an air dribble, yeah, but the way that we colloquially refer to it. But is if you said air dribble to somebody from Netherlands, do they understand that the same way? Or an Argentinian, or or somebody from Poland. Like we have our English terms, but I like seeing terms that are in the book, because once a translation is defined, then we have a mutual understanding. There's a really interesting conversation in the server today about the Dutch translation of stick obstruction and touching the stick, which is interfering with the stick, which is 9.3. So obstruction is 9.12, and touching the stick or interfering with the stick as we know it and we say it in English, and it has a very different connotation to it when you do that translation. We need to be precise about our words, so we give an opportunity for people who don't speak English as their first language to be able to agree upon their word that will mean to them what the English word means to us. So we all mean the same thing, despite the language that we're using. We have to have the same scaffolding in place here so that we're all playing the same game. I hope that makes sense. My end of the year rules committee. I haven't done that yet, but maybe that should be one of my shows. There you go. Hi, David. Good to see you. It's a scoosh, or we can't call it a poop, obviously. Jason, I love your creativity, but we can't call it that. That's not going to work. An air dribble, given the job you used to have, that was an airline from an obscure country. There you go. Anthony, you have a question. How do we feel about players running with the ball on their stick in the air for an extended distance? Okay, let's open this up, because it was only 1:15 and I thought we were going to have a quick show, and apparently Anthony's going to bring the heat. He's going to bring the heat. We're going to have a chat, so please do get like that. It wasn't even bouncing, David. He was simply carrying it. Here, let's go back so that you can see it again. Since you came in late, I'm all here about the pretty pictures, and that way my face isn't the whole thing. It was simply resting on a stick and he was carrying it. And that goes straight to the question that Anthony is asking. How do we feel about that? Oh yeah, don't forget that thing. Oh, I don't have it on that screen. Oops, I didn't mean to do that again. Something's gonna go in there. But this thing. Awkward. If it's not awkward, I don't do it. Okay, so let's answer Anthony's question, because I certainly do have feelings. Okay, I don't have feelings, but I have opinions about hockey things. So to me, there is nothing that is any more dangerous than about carrying a ball on the stick for long distances, for short distances, long distances, anything like that. So when I look at our rules of hockey, almost every single one of them can point back to the reason it's there is to keep the players safe. Even the boundary rules, that there's sidelines and things like that, that keeps players safe so they don't go chasing balls out into the street and start getting hit by cars because they're busy, playing over there instead of playing on the pitch. Everything's about safety. Obstruction is about safety. Not playing the ball with your body is about safety, because everybody would have broken bones constantly in this game if players were permitted to use their body. So the logic the first logic layer I would apply is, does carrying the ball on the stick make anybody more unsafe? No. And then the next thing is, can the game still be played safely? Can tackles occur? Is there anything that's so incredibly advantageous about carrying the ball on the stick for long periods of time such that it should not be permitted under the rules? And this is what I think a lot of people's hesitations, reluctance comes about this skill, because they can't conceive of a way that defenders can actually make a clean tackle in these situations. And I think that that is a just incorrect generalization, because over the last several years, I've noticed a huge uptick in the skill level of defenders defending 3D skills in the air. They're figuring it out just in the same way that attackers learned the skill of being able to put the ball up in the air and dribble in certain directions and carry it and shift around. Defenders also, but later on, started on learning how to defend that skill. One of the answers that I give, being a rather basic coach, I am not incredibly knowledgeable or skilled or anything like that, experienced about player coaching, but I say, well, it seems to me, call me crazy, but if one defended with their stick upright, like we used to do on grass, back when I was a wee lass, okay, and defend upright instead of trying to defend like this and then swiping across, which is the way that people defended the 3D skills at first when they first emerged. They're doing this now, and it's working. Because you know what's really hard about 3D skills if you're that person who's dribbling the ball in the air? It's really hard to change the ball's lateral direction. So you've literally taken the turf and you've tilted it 90 degrees. And now the line on which the ball is mostly moving is a vertical line instead of a horizontal line. So where are you going to put your stick? Vertically. It works. So frankly, I don't have any problem with it. That's me. Let's see what everybody else does. It makes the stick shielding and stick check calls more challenging. The defender knows they need almost block with the body to get the danger call. Okay, well, obviously I don't agree with some of that. But I'll tease out a point from there that I do agree with, which is that actually as a defender, what it is easier to do is to defend laterally. As soon as a player's got the ball in the air, it's going to be really hard for them to move around me. So if I have taken up a space and I am prepared to defend vertically, I know that they're not going to be able to go very, very far. Now, the top players in the world, the Stappenhorst, the Matzillis, sorry, the Tom Bones, they can dribble, they can move the ball side to side in the air dribbling like that. In some situations, not all the time, not always successfully, usually not more than once or twice before they have to bring it down to the ground. There are limitations here. There's only so far the skill has gone, and you do have that as a defender. That's your ace in the pocket. It's just you're not used to that. That's not your orientation. You think, oh, I need to defend this space instead of I need to defend this space. Exactly. Yep. So Steve's kind of taking the, Goddard is taking the other side of that for sure. Steve Rogers is here, everybody. Oh my God, I'm so mad my sound effects don't work. Oh, I totally blew an air horn, Steve. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, friend. Human wall. Look, I've always been a pylon on the turf, so this really, really jives with my understanding of the game. And now you almost need to. That should have read. Oh, okay, wait. You almost need to. So the defender knows they need to almost block with their body to get a danger call. Yeah, but it's and then I think it's easier for them to block with their body to get into that position because it's harder for the attackers to move laterally. Not impossible, but harder. Murph, you'd definitely be intrigued in a discussion, if there isn't one already, of this air dribbles versus a goalkeeper. Oh, okay. I'll be your Huckleberry. We got 4 minutes. We can probably shift this into goalkeeper territory. Jump in the comments, everybody, and let me know what you think about that. Steve, we're at that point in the show that we never get to where I actually didn't have more material to fill up the whole 90 minutes that I traditionally go. And for some reason, I'm still talking because people have good questions, particularly this coach here, Anthony Trotman. So you agree with the upright stick tackle defense when 3D is done in close proximity in tight spaces, but running with the ball on the stick doesn't give defenders an opportunity to tackle. Sure it does. Because it's not automatically a foul just because a stick contacts another. And I think our misconception that stick noise equals stick obstruction and the mistaken calls that we make sometimes based on stick noise is stick obstruction is the problem. So when you discard that and then you look purely at stick obstruction as being a player using their stick to prevent an opponent from playing the ball by coming in with their stick and being able to play that ball away, not knocking the stick away, but playing the ball away, you can still do it, I think, without committing a stick obstruction. I'm not saying I have all the answers here, but it just seems like we jump to a conclusion that's based on an incorrect application of the idea of what obstruction is. Does that make sense? Please feed back to me because I haven't really had fulsome conversations about this the way that I've beat to death every other concept of hockey umpiring. So please let me know. What would Captain America do? Nearly there. Let's see. So Murph seeing for the goalkeepers, someone has the ball at the clip you had. What can a keeper do? You're less mobile, bigger blocking area, but any attempt to play the ball would probably be met with a PC. Stand there. Like, what if Matzilli is coming dribbling at you like that? You are exactly right. You are a bigger object to try to get around, and it's harder for a player to change direction like that. Like, you notice when the players are carrying the ball on their stick, they're generally going in one direction. As soon as they change direction, the ball falls off. So what you want to do is you want to tackle in numbers as well. There you go, Anthony. Here's another technique now that I'm brainstorming live. Or as some may call it, just bullshitting. As soon as a player who's carrying the ball is met with a big goalkeeper in front of them or a defender, and they have to change direction because they know if they just dribble straight at, they will be the ones causing the danger. They have to change direction, and they're going to be really under pressure to be able to keep that ball in that position and elevated. So the next defender is there. You tackle in numbers, you tackle in a group, and you tackle patiently, just like you should with all other skills. But for some reason, we don't always do that. I am really, really good at never laying in a tackle because I know I'm going to miss. So all I do is try to delay, and put a player under enough pressure that they give me the ball. Or more likely, they give my teammate the ball. Numbers. Yep, and you've got blockers and everything. And if the player is running at you, it should be called in your favor. And probably It would amount to a dangerous. It's just like if you're on the ground and a player is trying to force a ball through your body into the goal. That should absolutely be called as dangerous because you are a solid object, and despite the fact that you have padding on, they shouldn't be trying to go through you. So it should be the same thing. Just because you have pads doesn't mean that they can run it straight at you. Goalkeepers get very close. Make them do something. Most players will lose control. Yep. And a lob should give you time to chase back. Well, and then hopefully you have friends, right? You think someone missed Steve Rogers? Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm really starting to, I'm getting to that point. And I'm sure he's never heard that joke before. Oi. You're not that big a keeper, but based on that theory, the ball drops off stick. Duding you blocking, the player will run into the keeper and penalty corner. Yeah, no. It should absolutely be a free hit defense. So I know. We have a lot of things. We have many missions to embark upon to help raise the standard and unify us all under this consensus of knowing what good hockey umpiring is. But I think we're on that right track. Umpires or coaches can't see the wood for the trees or the aerials in the forest. For the aerials in the forest, perhaps. Lovely way to defend coming from a goalie. Don't let them shoot or play. Yeah, there you go. Should an umpire education opportunity and are two different things. Yeah, absolutely. But that's why we're here, right? You're here as a player who umpires, and Anthony's here as a coach who wants to understand the game to the highest degree because he knows that's going to help his teams win. There are other coaches and other players and other non-umpires who watch this show on a regular basis. Rumor has it, some of them actually admit it to me at times. And we are part of that. We are part of that momentum. So if I can end the show with an inspirational message, we're doing the right stuff here, gang. And the more we talk about it, the more that we share this information, we get it out there. We talk to each other. We talk to coaches. We talk to players. We talk to parents. We talk to fans. We talk to administrators. This is where we are active participants and artists in this game. And our understanding will always improve the more that we talk to the first and second teams. And everybody's understandings will all improve when they are part of our conversations as well. And that's just going to make the game better and better and better. And nobody will want to watch football anymore. I just had this inspirational talk, and now I have to answer another question. Taco. I'm just kidding. Suppose a player with the ball at the stick plays the ball like a scoop to a teammate further in the field. Would the umpire receive it or interpret it as a scoop or just on danger? I would consider that to be an aerial pass because it's an intentional movement of the ball from one player to an initial receiver, intending it to be their teammate. And so long as that's not done with a hit, then I would judge it absolutely on the same rules. Have I seen an air? I have seen an aerial once, and I didn't capture, I didn't clip or timestamp the game, but it was an international game, and I think it was like Belgian men, and it was somebody else. And the dude was literally 3D dribbling, but he had it on a stick, and then he just flicked it up in an aerial, and I was just gobsmacked. But I haven't seen it again yet since, and I watch a lot of hockey, so maybe we'll start hearing it more. Who knows? You might not see too many air dribbles with the under-13s on Saturday, but maybe you will. The game is changing, and players at all kinds of levels are trying skills, and they're learning skills, and that is exciting. That is a great thing for our game. It's nothing to dissuade people on or get angry at the mat or say, that's not for you, that's only for the top players. No, as long as we can help them learn their responsibilities to their opponents and to their teammates as well, even though that's not a foul. It's just, you know, it would be nice. Don't hurt your teammates. That will as well help to elevate the game. Yeah, thank you. For those of you who go for post-match teas, I invite you, please go into the server and talk amongst yourselves. This will be your opportunity to spread all the gossip about me, because I am gonna shut this down and I am gonna go in there and I'm gonna have a nap and try to get rid of this thing. And thank you very much. It was great to have you all participating. Thanks for picking me up. And this, every time this happens, and for whatever reason I'm not feeling up to my best, you always elevate me. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the rest of your hockey weeks and weekends coming up. Stay in touch. Go to the Discord server and get ready for Black Friday. 30% off for the third team. We'll see you next week.